How do we know if it's an excuse and when it's something that really needs to be considered? What's the difference? Not everything is an excuse. I've done a lot of coaching and teaching of adult students, meaning people who are juggling lives, children, jobs, and going to school part time or full time. And I recall talking to a student who we had a session, he was struggling with some studying or something like that, and we were talking about strategies. And as we were going through the strategies, I could hear him saying, like, oh, like, I needed this is great, and this is helpful. And then in the same breath, he was like, but I need, sometimes I need tough love too. And it was like he couldn't accept the humanity that I was offering him with some of the things that were going on in his life. When he was telling me all the things that was going on in his life, I heard, like, dang, you have a lot on your plate. I see why this has not been a priority for you, but you want to make it a priority. So let's talk about how you can make it more of a priority. And for him, it was like, I'm just making excuses. I'm just not doing what needs to be done. And this is what I should be doing. And I guess you can take that approach. And as I'm making this video, I realized that I don't have a clear idea in my own mind of what makes something an excuse versus something that is like, this needs to be considered. This is a real issue. This is something that needs to be looked at as you're considering what you can realistically do. If anyone has any ideas of when something is an excuse versus when it's not, I would love to hear it. For myself, I realize that a lot of times people think they're making excuses when they're not making excuses. And sometimes people are making excuses and they think they're not making excuses. So sometimes people are making excuses, they think they're not making excuses. And sometimes people think they're making excuses when they're not making excuses. How do we know if it's an excuse and when it's something that really needs to be considered? What's the difference?